Hi Virgos, welcome to your November 2017 readings. We got a different scenery here. I've been having technology issues. My laptop camera's not all that great. The laptop's excellent. It's just the camera's not. And the more I try to tamper with it, the worse it gets. The more frustrated I get. And I tried to do the video. It cut out. So I'm just going to restart it. My cards already fell out. So I'm going to try to cover home, work, and relationships. Relationships come in all forms. Keep that in mind. They come in the form of partnerships. They come in the form of friends, family members, coworkers, siblings, grandparents, parents. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to try. I say I'm going to try to cover it, but whatever the messages that come through are the ones that come through. I read energies. So the first card we have is the Knight of Cups. We have the Emperor. I think you guys have been getting the Emperor for a little bit now. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Two of Cups. We have the Fool card. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Knave of Wands. I don't know why I can't speak. We have the Four of Pentacles. And then we have the Four of Swords. All right, you guys. The Three of Pentacles is my narcissist card. If you see this guy in the back here is doing all this art, and these guys here are reaping off of the benefits of his artwork. And it's like they're like, oh my goodness, I'm so great, I'm so fantastic. It's the energy I get. Or okay, I'm not sure if you have a narcissist around you. Okay, I did read the comments. I believe some people, there was a few people that dealt with a narcissist. I apologize for that. Okay, narcissists feed off of empaths, so you're probably an empath. Okay, and if you're an empath, that means that you have gifts and abilities. All right, and you need to okay, a lot of people are like, well, if you're an empath and you have such great gifts, then why'd you end up with a narcissist? Well, because a narcissist is a wounded child. Okay, and empaths are highly sensitive and they can sense people's wounds. All right, the deeper the wound, the more attracted the empath is to a narcissist. Okay, they're like magnets. All right, because they're opposites, so they'll get really attracted to each other. Okay, so if you're an empath, that means that you had great parents. Okay, so you need to appreciate that, and you should phone them up and thank them for that. I move around a lot. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not sure why the narcissist card came up. Okay, so it can be really hard to heal from a narcissist, and some of you guys need to heal from it. Okay, my concern is, okay, this is probably why it came up. All right, my concern is Virgos. All right, you need to understand as a Virgo. All right, you tend to stay in situations a lot longer than most people do due to the fact you want to fix things. All right, you can't fix everything, and you can't fix everyone. And if a Virgo can't fix anything or a problem, I can probably assure you that, okay, that's nobody else is going to. That's a Virgo's thing. They fix things. They fix problems, right? So you need to understand like I'm feeling in some sort of scenario, you need to understand that you've done more than enough and more than anybody else would in a situation like that. So you need to like give yourself credit where it's due, okay? Don't be so hard on yourself. I'm feeling like you're hard on yourself. Also, okay, what a narcissist does is they feed off of your fears, all right? Because that's what they're projecting. They're projecting their fears, all right? And they feed off of it. So this is almost like saying, okay, when you pray, the universe, all right, whoever you pray to, whatever God or deity that you believe in, whether you're Buddhist or monk, you know, Catholic, Christian, you're Jewish, you know, like, okay, there's good and there's bad, okay, in life. And you can't have one without the other. There'd be no bad without good, and there'd be no good without bad. You know what I mean? There's no up without down and no down without up. Okay, you need both of these things in life in order to progress. Okay? In the same manner, okay, when you pray, you'll always have some sort of guidance or answer given to you. But at the same time, for for all of that you're giving out, your fears are heard too. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like your fears will be heard, and they'll be tended to, like you'll be sent someone that will tend to those fears, just as you would be sent somebody that would tend to your blessings. Do you know what I mean? Like the devil's always going to try to stop you, and you know, metaphorically speaking, God, whatever God you believe in, right, will always try to push you forward. Okay, you seem to have this, and I got this in your last reading, this good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. So the swaying here, I'm not sure what that is. All right, you shouldn't feel bad about dating a narcissist, but also here's the thing, you can't let it change you. All right, I've dealt with narcissists myself. I'm an empath. Most Virgos are empaths. People that have strong Virgo in their chart will have those abilities. Not all of them, because you know, in life there's good and bad. Not everybody operates on a high vibration, and not everybody operates on a low vibration, but some do, right? Like you're always going to get it. My concern in this manner is that you've let it harden you, okay, and then you're giving the narcissist what they want at that point, all right, because a narcissist hates you for the fact that you're everything that they're not. So, and they will come back. They always come back, all right. So you need to, with the Queen of Swords here, you need to go no contact. It's no contact that you need. So this means blocking them off of every social media or any aspect that they can get a hold of you or in touch with you. You're going to have to block them in that manner. You got to cut through it. All right. With the Queen of Swords here, this is an intellect. You have an intellect. All right. You're going to have to use your mind here. What they did was they messed with your mind really bad, and you can't let that change you, because in most cases, when you've dealt with a narcissist, you can become a narcissist yourself. Not completely full-blown, but what happens is everything that was acted out on you, you then try to act out on somebody else. Okay. Not everybody does that, but it hardens you. You understand? Because we have the Emperor here, right? And it's a protection method if that's used. So your sensitivity and your vulnerability, that's your gift. You can't let anybody take that from you, and that's exactly what the narcissist is trying to do. They're trying to keep you in a fear state. They're trying to make you what they are, and you are not what they are. All right, like you need to understand that you're not what they are. Okay, they no longer have power or influence over you. Okay. And then I'm going to try to cover, I'm not sure if I said this, homework and relationships. My Virgo rising affects me a great deal when I'm on camera. It's only go blank. And as the channel grows, it can even grow by 2 people. It comes out again. So just when I start to get comfortable, I got to it's a constant trying to get past this Virgo rising. It like shuts you down. You get like Virgo risings get very, they can be very quiet in new environments, and they're very observant, right? That's like until they get comfortable, and then they kind of come out a bit. As the channel grows, that kind of prevents me from doing that, but that's also, you know, you can look at that as a negative, but the positive side is I'm gaining growth. You know what I mean? I'm learning to get over a obstacle, a personal obstacle, right? So I'm not sure if some of you guys have a negative, you need to see it as a positive. Okay, you learned a great deal from dealing with those narcissists. You cannot allow it to affect you, though. Okay. In relationships come in all forms. Keep that in mind. You have the Knight of Cups, Two of Chalices, and the Knave of Wands. Okay, you may have a Libra. There's the Two of Cups I see as Libra because it's partnership. Libras aren't relationship oriented. Libras are partnership oriented. Okay, and that's the builder. They build. That's why they get in a partnership. It's 50-50, right? Okay, in order for some of you singles, in order for you to get to this partnership, and this is for the singles, you need to heal emotionally a little bit before you can get to it. Okay? And that's due to the narcissist that you dealt with. You can't allow that to affect your next relationship because what you fear, you're going to attract just as much as what you want. Okay? Like the law of attraction comes into effect. So if you have fears of attracting another narcissist or getting in it, you're probably going to, because your fears are going to be heard just as much as your prayers are going to be heard. All right. For every prayer that you send out there, you'll have it answered. But for every fear that you think about, you'll have that answered too. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so you got to really take a new start on your mindset here at the way you think. A narcissist wants to tear you down, okay? A narcissist can fool the most intelligent people. They have, okay, they can mimic other people. They have no character, right? They don't have integrity, and they project out how they feel about themselves. So you need to be aware of that. So if they were talking badly about you or, calling you the cheater, well, they're calling you a cheater because they're a cheater. All right. If they are saying that, you weren't emotional, well, they're saying that you're not emotional because they're not emotional. All right. They're going to project their insides out. All right. So, don't allow whatever they said to affect you. Okay. And you Virgos that are dealing with other people, because I feel like you may have some people that are projecting their stuff onto you. It's not your stuff, it's theirs. Okay, so it's like Virgos, I've gone over this before. You need to be focused on yourself here and not be looking outwardly. You need to be looking inwardly. Okay, and then for others of you, okay, those of you who are in partnerships, okay, you have a very loving relationship. All right, you do. What you need if you're having any problems is you need that emotional bonding. Okay, you need to take charge and plan romantic dates, go out dancing with your partner. Okay, okay, you do have the Fool here, which is travel. It can be travel. All right, and then you have the Two of Cups. Okay, so there was a viewer who I believe you said that your spouse lived at a distance, okay, where you see that in the cards with the Fool card, the Knight of Cups, and the Four of Swords, okay? So there's things you can do to bond while you're waiting, as in you guys can video chat each other and watch movies together. You can still have date night, okay? You just do it while you both start the movie at the same time, and you can have it on video chat while you're watching it, so you can talk to each other, or if you can do it at texting each other or while you're watching it, you can still create dates. You know what I mean? You can have a video chat while you're having dinner, so it's like you're having dinner together just at a distance. Okay, you don't allow the distance create you can still have quality time together while you're waiting. All right. And it's saying here for that particular person that whatever you're hoping, okay, and the wait is going to be worth it. You're going to get, you guys are going to come together. You have the Two of Cups. It's partnership. All right. That's, you have nothing to worry about. It could take, well, I don't know the exact time frame. The number 4 is coming through here strongly. It could be like another 4 more months, another 3 more months. Okay, but with the Fool card here too, this may say that you might have to meet each other halfway. If it's going to be longer than that, well then in 4 months, you might, or 3 months, you might want to plan a trip where you can meet each other halfway. So it's 50-50. It needs to be 50-50, okay? Because it might be too much money for you to be traveling all the way there and too much money for him to be traveling all the way to where you are, so you can meet in the center. You know what I mean? That Black Eyed Peas song is meet me halfway. That's why it was like you got to meet each other halfway. You know what I mean? It's the Libra card, which is partnership. Okay, for those of you in relationships, it was as I was saying, you need to it's more date nights, but it's also, I'm seeing like fun. You need fun. Okay, you have the Knave of Wands, which is the youngest energy. So it's like an Aries energy I'm getting from the card, which Aries is like a very childlike. They like to play. And you do have the Emperor here. So this is like, okay, I'm seeing snow. So those of you that live near mountains, this is like going skiing. You could even do a ski weekend or something like that with your loved one. If you have family, so like if you're, you know, you can go take them tubing so you and your partner can have fun. Well, your children get to have fun. Tubing is a really fun thing to do. I tried it for the first time last year. It was super fun. It was done in a family. Me, my sister, her boyfriend, and then a friend that came down from Venezuela. We all went, and it was so much fun. But that's something that, you know, you need to get this child aspect back in. Like playfulness needs to be brought into your relationship. It's a restart. You need to reboot. I'm getting an image of those tunnels where it's like clear, you know, where you need to reboot the relationship. It's not just going to change because you want it to change. You have to actually create the circumstances that you want. Okay, so if you want change, then you got to create change. If you want more romance, then you got to create more romance. Okay. This is also talking about not being afraid to tell your loved one, I feel for you, masculine men. Okay. It's saying not to be afraid to express that you love your spouse. So saying you love them, giving them a hug, that type of thing. You know what I mean? Doing small gestures like helping them with the dishes, that, you know, that will show appreciation and not being asked to do it. Small things will really, you know, bring back the passion, appreciation. There's a level of appreciation here, okay? Because a lot of men think that women want these big gestures. A lot of women don't, okay? They're quite simple. They're not as complex as men think, okay? It's the little things that you can help take off of their plate that really help them, that they appreciate. So it's like if they cook and they do the dishes all the time, okay, well then if your wife cooks, then maybe you can do the dishes. Or maybe one day you can do the cooking and they can do the dishes, all right? You need to balance things here. It's 50-50, all right? In your relationships, if you're having problems, it's because it's not 50-50, okay? But it's also due to emotions, emotional bonding, all right? For those of you that are single, you know, you have the opportunity here for a new partnership. That's, I mean, it's not saying anything negative. Oh, that's weird. Oh, well, it's not weird. It came in reverse. Excuse me, I have the cards upside down, that's why. You have the Three of Cups here. All right, so this is like celebrating. Okay, for those of you, in jobs and things like that, it's like appreciating your fellow coworkers and, you know, patting them on the back, saying good job or thank you for helping me, that type of thing. Um, it'll really benefit you. I am seeing dinner though. Okay, dinners. Okay, if you are long distance, you can still have dinner together. Okay, it's a little more of a nuisance, but you can still do it. You know what I mean? Because you don't have those things that other people have, but you can still create that. All right, it's just done in a different manner. People might see it as weird, but that's okay, Virgo. You know, you got to do what you got to do until the foundation can come together. And it is saying that you will come together, not to worry about it. If you hear squawking, it's the bird. Uh, and he usually, his name's Billy. He usually squawks when there's like something, some sort of message coming through. It sounds weird, but you know. What not to do is to not get over emotional in your relationships. Okay, you need to ensure. Okay, this is it with your parents, with your coworkers and your friends. You need to ensure that you can maybe help them out and take a little burdens off of them. All right, and actually, I'm seeing like for those of you that are empaths, okay, and if you've had problems with your parents, all right, you need to understand that you are an empath due to your parents, and you know you need to celebrate that and thank them and maybe have family dinner together. You know, there's healing energy, a lot of healing energy in here. What we have coming in for work, okay, you have a strong position here. Uh, okay, for those of you that own your own business, there's a restructuring that needs to happen. You need to see things from a different perspective and you need to rearrange things. Uh, you need to do things in a different manner. And you need to not see things negatively. You need to see things more as a positive. So this means that, okay, well, if you've, okay, if you're seeing something as a problem, you need to see it as more like a challenge. Look at it as a challenge, not a problem. All right, because you're going to gain knowledge and wisdom from it. Uh, it may seem like a temporary setback, but it's not. Okay, for some of you, this is also talking about taking a new job on. Some of you might want to apply for leadership positions. Those can be quite promising for you. For others of you, if you're having difficulties with your work, okay, I am seeing skiing for some reason. I'm not sure if somebody's an avid skier or like you're a good skier. Uh, it's weird. Okay, for those of you that have been in relationships for a very long time, okay, it's weird because I'm getting this feminine energy here of where like, okay, so for you men, you can just recreate like a moment that when you guys first met, like a first, like I'm seeing food for some reason. So you can try to like recreate a moment that you know that was special to your wife or to your girlfriend and recreate that to bring out the memories. All right. This is if you're having problems, recreate it. Okay. And that will show your spouse that, you know, you do remember things because sometimes women can be stubborn and we can think that men, you know, are they don't hear us or don't listen to us. Okay. And quite often men just don't say it. All right. But you can show it. If you have a hard time saying it, because I'm seeing there's a man here, he has a hard time expressing himself, you can show it. All right. So by recreating that moment, you can show it. All right. Uh, for 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 work, you might want to put your application out to multiple places. Okay. And the one that's going to benefit you might be at a longer distance from you. All right. It is saying that there's a distance here. It might make you dissatisfied, but it's going to be the route you want. Like the cards are saying that that's going to be the most successful route. So if there's like a situation that occurs and you're like, no, I don't want that job. It's too far. Okay. Well, it's saying that that job is going to benefit you more than a job that's closer to you. There might be more potential in that. Okay, so this is like variety too. I'm seeing variety here. Because some Virgos, I'm not gonna lie, we're being stubborn and we're seeing things a little one-sided and we need to see things a little differently. That's what the cards are saying. We need to see things a little differently. What we got coming on at home. Well, I hope you Virgos aren't dealing with a narcissist. That does concern me. What we got coming in at home. Well, okay. Well, for some of you guys, I'm feeling like you're fearing the holidays. I'm not sure why, but it feels like you're fearing the holidays. So it might be a family member that you don't want to see and you're going to have to deal with them and they could be a narcissist. Okay? Home, it's talking about you need to be very practical. Well, not practical. It's like you need to think about things and make the changes necessary at home. If your wife is detached at home, okay, I really feel like what I applied earlier will help you out, okay? And then I feel like for some of you Virgos, you like at home, okay, if you're dealing with your children need you to be, okay, I feel like at home with your children, you're very like sergeant oriented right now. Like you're drilling in a pattern into them of things got to be done like this at a certain time or whatever. You need to have a day where the kids can kind of just flow, all right? Because what's happening is your kids are going to be getting, your kids are going to do the opposite of what you want, all right? Because you're planting the seed in their head. Like they're going to, like kids are curious. They're going to want to know why, all right? Because if you're telling them they can't do something, they're going to want to know why they can't do that. So they're going to go find out why they can't do that. So you don't want to restrict them too much. You know what I mean? You want to give them a little bit of a leeway. All right. But at home, you might have to move at home. All right. But you don't act too quickly. You got to consider things. Uh, you have to give time here, and you have to save up a little bit. There's some costs that you might need to cut down as well. Uh, Okay, so I pulled the Ace of Wands, and that's what not to do. And if you see in this card, he's the head, and then this is like my Merlin card. I bring this up all the time. If you've seen Merlin, he looks like him, the wizard, right there. And Merlin goes to the dragon, and he talks to the dragon, and the dragon kind of like gives him hints, doesn't give him the full answer. You know, you end up finding out after you do it, and then it all makes sense afterwards. Okay, but basically what I'm getting from this card is like I was saying, if you're having problems with your kid, you see this like because he's the big head, he's like the know all, be all. You know what I mean? So it's like if you're having problems with your kids, that's why you need to give them a little. They need to flow a little bit. So art could be really good for them. I'm seeing cooking too, encouraging your kids to cook. Actually, there's that show where you ever seen that show where it's like is with Chef Ramsay, I think. But instead of like it being adults all being the chefs competing, they have these kids that are like freaking like 5 to like 12 and they can cook better than all of us probably. That show terrifies me because and this is probably like a Virgo year too. Because it's like first of all, they're like 6 years old. Okay, it's amazing that they can do that. You know what I mean? Like amazing. But what concerns me is like, well, how did those parents allow their kids to play with knives and pots and pans and stoves like that without getting hurt? All right. So there's a sense here of like, we need to learn how to get past that. I don't have children, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like, because those kids can cook better than we can. All right. And the fact that they had parents that allowed them to do that, and I'm not sure how they did that. Okay. Because I know as a Virgo, if I was put in that situation, I would probably be like, no, you can't touch that because you're going to get hurt. But in that manner, it's because it's my fear It would be my fear, not theirs. So I would be prohibiting them. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be them, and I'd be preventing them from being who they are. All right. I personally, I don't know how those parents allowed their kids to do that. I really don't. Because every time I watch that show, I'm both in awe and horrified at the same time. They're children, like playing with knives, and they're chopping real fast, and you know what I mean? Like, so there's some sort of sense here where you got to release your fear, because it might be blocking your children. And this could even go with your wife. Your fear is blocking your children or your wife. Keep in mind, your fears are put out into the universe just as much as your prayers are, and they'll both be answered. Okay, both of them will be answered. You need to see things from a different perspective, is what the cards are saying, though. I feel like if you apply for jobs, don't restrict yourself, or if you're wanting to take a new job, don't restrict yourself to one area. Okay, like look outside that area. All right, for some of you guys, right, like if you do movies, I'm seeing film in that. All right, there's lots of other areas that do movies. It's not just one area that does movies. It's not just Hollywood. You know what I mean? A lot of other areas do movies. Um, there's one person, one viewer, where, oh my goodness, you met so many people. That's so cool. And Virgos, honestly, I think Virgos are the type of people that wouldn't really treat a famous person any different. I met Halle Berry and I met Sylvester Stallone. The only reason I met them was because of my older brother. This was like years back. Uh, they were filming a movie out here, and my brother was like in love with Halle Berry. So he was like a teenage like schoolgirl. He's like, oh my god, we gotta go. And Sylvester Stallone, you know, we grew up watching movies like Over the Top. You know, he was my brother's hero, where Rocky, all those movies, right? So my brother wanted to meet him, and in both of those scenarios, my brother, he's a Scorpio. In both of those scenarios, my brother was like he was the reason I went. I didn't even want to go, and then he was standing behind me, like, oh, go talk to them, go talk to them. You know, like a Virgo doesn't treat a person any differently. They treat a CEO in the same respect as they treat a janitor. Okay, like don't let you really need to not let outside influences affect you, okay? That's hilarious, my brother. Like, honestly, he started screaming like a little girl. Halle Berry, I was just in awe with her. Like, she's literally like 10 times prettier than what you see in real life or on film. Where she was nice, smelled good. She smelled really good. I got Taurus North Node, so I suppose like I'm pretty sensitive with smells. Um, there's a sense where you need to see things from a different perspective. Okay, for those of you that are single, don't go rushing out dating. All right, you want to ensure you're finding the right partner. You're looking for a partner, not a relationship. Okay, so you got to give yourself time to heal too if you dealt with a narcissist. Okay, because you don't want to go out there and then project what happened to you out there. So you do want to heal. All right, that takes time. You can't rush that process. All right, you need to understand what happened too, and you need to understand it's not your fault. Why it happened was because you're a good person. All right, it's almost like that situation where when there's no when everything is dark in the world, the reason why, or around you, it's because you're light. You know what I mean? So like the light needs to be shined out. All right, there's like, it's not your fault that you dealt with those people. All right, and you're not dumb or anything like that. The most intelligent people in the world get fooled by narcissists. Most narcissists are CEOs of companies. Um, hopefully, one of you guys aren't dating a narcissist. Or you could have a family member that might be a narcissist that is affecting your relationship in some manner. But the cards are saying your relationship is it's beautiful and it's bonded. Like you have a strong bond. Okay, Virgos, and crows, I'm seeing crows again, and they are associated with Virgo, the magician. Okay, crows mate for life. All right. The only time they get separated is by death. All right. So you don't like you may have a narcissist interfering in your relationship, causing issues for you when it's completely healthy. All right. So don't take everything you hear with a grain of salt. All right. And learn to match what you see and hear. Those are two separate things, right? Like most Virgos, especially a Virgo rising, would notice. They notice people's, like, for instance, okay, they're very good at telling if people are fake. Okay, if a person's fake smiling, okay, well, you can tell that Virgo rising picks up on that pretty fast. They're more Virgo risings are more. They're not like Virgo suns or Virgo moons. They notice patterns in the outside world, like things around them, things they can touch, and things they can see. So they're more in tune with noticing things than generally than the way that their patterns and their perfectionist comes out is different than the other Virgos. So they pick up on small details. They can pick up on fake people real fast. So it's like if somebody's fake smiling at you, pretending to be nice towards you, you'll notice, like, see how I'm smiling right now? That's a fake smile, but there's no, and it's going back to crows. That's, universe. Universe is playing games here. Taurus's reading even said that they were going to do that. Or, love how the universe works. Okay, so you see, like, crow's feet, right? So when a person is real and they're smiling for real, they get the crow's feet in their eye, all right? So if somebody's being fake around you, okay, because I got this in your last reading, they were going to fake it. Somebody was being fake, and they're going to do it with a smile. So you'll notice it because their eyes, they won't have the crow feet around their eyes, right? They'll be fake. That's a sign. All right, you guys. Hopefully this helped you out. That's pretty much all I'm picking up. It's a long reading. You have the King of Wands here. Okay, and it's what not to do about work. It's like not go gung-ho, not go, cutting off your job, not going for a quick move. Be practical, be grounded, think about things before you do it, right? It's like a branch. A branch doesn't just grow straight. It has other branches that branch off on it. So it's like every action has a reaction, and you got to consider, like, the straight branch is your action, okay, and the reactions are going to be those little branches that come off. You got to consider all of those little branches that are going to come off before you take action. Don't move too quickly. The cards are saying that. Don't move too quickly. Consider things first, okay? Because this sword is red hot, where he's like ready to cut things like He-Man. Right? Don't become He-Man here, you guys. You guys are going to be working some magic here this month. You got a lot of, like, magic happening here, but rest, contemplate things, try to see things from a little bit of a different perspective. All right. Hopefully that helped you guys out.